Hello, Flawless family. It's great to be here today with Janine to get you ready for Earth Day with some creative, meaningful, and fun ways to celebrate. We'll be talking about how caring for the planet connects with caring for your mental health, from recycled art projects to the mental health benefits of spending time outdoors and just sharing some flawless love. So it's great to be here with you, Janine.
Yeah, great to be with you. All right.
Definitely good to be back. And as you know, how we always start off is our famous question. How are you really doing today?
Um, I'm I'm uh I'm okay. As you know, I pulled a muscle in my calf, so that's slowing me down and bumming me out a little because it's like the holiday weekend, and I like to do a lot on the holidays. So, I'm enjoying the lessons in slowing down because I'm a person that goes, goes, goes. So I'm also looking forward to the holiday. It's both. You
Yeah.
know.
Which is always hard. But I do want to commend you for being honest, right? Going through a little bit of tough
Yes.
stuff physically.
Yeah.
You're a great example of that.
How
Um,
about you? How are you really doing?
I can really respond to that. I think you are a person that's taught me recently the power of slowing down at times, right? We've been going back and forth, if you don't slow yourself down, sometimes life has a funny way of making sure you slow down and kind of take it all
Yeah.
in. So, just
Yeah.
definitely grateful. So,
Yep,
um,
yep, yep,
yeah.
yep. And I think I mentioned the other day, like I'm really proud of myself, like because I've been feeling really okay this happened 2 weeks ago, and I
Mm.
haven't exercised at all. And I really like to exercise a lot, so I'm glad I've like really been doing okay. Like I considering I've been handling this well. So
Yeah, because it's
yeah, off to physical therapy later.
which is exciting. Um, and so we have Earth Day coming right around the corner, and it's a great time and opportunity to kind of reconnect to our natural roots. So how do you think stepping outside, no pun intended with your calf, but how do you think stepping outside helps to support brain health, especially when right now unplugging is such a challenging thing to do?
Well, and it's funny that I learned this online, on social media. It's, the good and the bad of social media. But there's been so much about increasing our dopamine naturally. And the first thing that they say to do is when you wake up, go outside and get some sunlight, first thing.
Hmm.
So I've been doing that and it's wonderful. It's really great going outside first thing in the morning and just getting some natural sunlight. It helps with your vitamin D and your circadian rhythms and all the stuff. So that's something I do to kind of connect with nature and all that.
Okay. Now, speaking of things that you do, what's one thing that you already do right now that you would say helps the earth, even if it's something that might be small or minuscule? What's something that you're doing right now?
Definitely what we're going to talk about, which is I'm always recycling stuff for our flawless workshops for the art projects. Every day I save stuff. And I meant to video that this month and I didn't do it. I meant to do it. But you know what? We still have 2 weeks left. I'm going to start doing it to show people. I was going to do like an everyday showing you what I recycle.
Yeah, so I mean, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. As you mentioned, our recycled art products that we do with a lot of our workshops. Where did you get the idea to start this? Let's start there.
Right, because we'll talk about this in a little bit. I am not an art person at all. Like I have a lot of talents. Art's like my worst. I'm terrible at art.
Relate.
So for me to be doing art projects is like kind of interesting. So when I was in graduate school and I was working in program schools with young kids, I don't know if you know this, I started my PhD and
I
my
love that.
dissertation was on the schools in Reggio Emilia, Italy. They were ranked the number one early childhood programs in the world.
Wow.
And they're very home-like, and beauty and art is at the center of their curriculum. And I brought all of that back into my work. I studied there and did a study tour and everything. It was amazing. And my dissertation topic was on lunchtime routines. Like in those schools, they have like they give the kids like China, and the kids are like 3 to 5 years old. I mean, you've got a young one. You can imagine
I know.
China and beautiful things. And they eat like risotto with mushrooms. Like the food that they eat is just like what the adults eat. There's no difference. And the behavior, they like eat for like an hour. It's not like, in our United States kind of schools, we're like in and out of the cafeteria with them
Exactly.
young the yuckiest food. I mean, so that's where this all began. And I grew up, I mean, my family's Italian, so part of this was in my culture too.
Mhm.
And I was so touched the other day when we were doing a workshop, and one of the participants asked me if I had grown up with a mom who entertained a lot, because he felt like I brought beauty in just the paper plates and the napkins and things. I made everything so nice there, and he could sense that. And I did grow up that way. So it's about the environment and bringing beauty. And I think that, especially the other day, someone said, "Oh, it feels different with you all here." There was a respect, or looking through the lens of flawlessness. And I think that people feel respected when you take the extra time to do the little extras and make things beautiful. So
Mhm.
that's where it all started. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's funny how we mentioned the first conversation, the first question was getting back to our natural roots, and this whole thing seems like it started with you getting back to your natural roots of, being Italian. So,
Yeah.
seeing how far it's gone and things have been created, through the projects and the workshops. When you see art being made from recycled items, what sense of feeling do you kind of get when you're seeing that, and how does recycled art kind of serve as a message for personal growth?
hmm So it's twofold, because you are being creative, which is so good for your health and your mental health, and you're giving back to the earth, which feels so good too. So it's like a double, it's giving purpose to our, some of the folks we work with, have really serious challenges on every level: food insecurity, housing insecurity, serious mental illness. Uh, for them to feel like they have purpose and they're giving back, and um, making and also it's free. The materials are free, which is so wonderful. So in Italy, in Reggio Emilia, they have these huge, this like warehouse called a remita, which I forget exactly what it means, something about recycling, or reusing things. And all the companies and people donate things, and they organize it beautifully. It's all in clear plastic bins, so you can see it, and the kids come and shop, and they make things from yeah, it's amazing. The teachers and the kids go on field trips and they take stuff, and so I made a remita, a small one, in New York when I was working with little kids. And one time, um one of the little girls said she wanted to, I'll never forget, her name was Tabitha, she wanted to make a chandelier. She
Mhm.
went into the Ramita, and she got the idea of the chandelier from what was in the Ramita. There was like jewelry, broken chains, and gold chocolate plastic containers, and a round plastic, um, like a tray for a cake that looked like crystal. And
Huh.
so we hung everything and had all these gold things. And it was so beautiful. The principal put it in his office.
What?
Oh no, so
See,
fun.
no, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
this is
That's
like really
awesome.
creating, right?
But as you kind of alluded to earlier, right? So I'm envisioning this. I'm like, this sounds and looks beautiful, but I know I couldn't recreate it, right? And you mentioned earlier, right? You don't feel like you're necessarily known for your artistic skills.
Yes.
So as for those watching this that are like, oh, this sounds great, this sounds amazing, but I'm not an artist. If we don't have the touch, how do we still participate in Earth Day and
Right.
options like this?
And that's funny because you, we're going to be interjecting some videos and some beautiful photos, and one is going to be one of my favorite photos of you. It's going on our website. Is you with Joe, and you made that MK, and
Oh, right, right,
I
right.
mean, you're, I think of you as so creative. Like I would never not think of you as someone who, I mean, you're a very creative person. You just need more time to do it, because you're just so busy. But I laugh when you say that you're not artistic, because you really, really are. And it's really sweet because Carlos, who also has never thought of himself as a creative person and is really not, you've done some creative stuff. I don't think he's had that much experience. So when he was leading a workshop together with me on this, he's like, wow, this is, I'm getting my creativity on. Like, he started to make stuff. And that was really wonderful to know that we all have it inside of us, right? We
Mm.
all, and so I think it's less intimidating when it's these materials that you're constructing and building with, instead of actual art materials so much. Like if you put pencils and crayons and things in front of me, I get nervous, because I can't draw at all.
Yeah, I
But I
can't
love
draw a straight
coloring.
line.
I love coloring. But you're
Okay.
really good, you're really, really, really good,
So maybe I just have to find my artistic lane is kind of what you're suggesting.
Yeah, we have to stop those voices in our heads that say these things like I'm not this or that. We really do.
Okay, I like that. It's broadened
Yeah,
my perspective a little bit.
yeah,
So
for sure.
outside of my own handmade art, what would you say, and everything that we've done, everything that you've seen, what would you say is your favorite recycled or nature-based art project that you've seen use in a flawless workshop?
Mhm,
What's something that's really sparked that
mhm,
mental wellness and connection
mhm.
amongst like the participants?
Yeah. Well, honestly, really, one of my favorites is that picture of you and Joe and what you made that day. Because, it was the first time I saw you create art and it meant a lot. And it was really, really beautiful. And it's fabulous because Joe, who runs the Mental Health America of Palm Beach County Peer Place, he does have an art background, which I didn't know. So everything he makes is amazing. And it's just great. So that's one of my favorites. And then this I cry every time I walk in. So because we've been bringing recycled materials there for a long time and doing art, so now the group has taken it on themselves. So when we're not there, they make these elaborate projects. They built these houses with like really detailed things like a hot tub and a garage, and they took a little car and they put it in there, like beautiful, beautiful murals of the sea, one of New York City, all stimulated and inspired by these materials. It's so these group projects just touch me so much to bring, these folks sometimes, they're living alone or have feeling lonely or social isolation, like to see that they have these collaborative projects together, it gives them so much purpose and it's bonding and it just means the world to me. So those are my favorites for sure.
Oh yeah, that's hard to beat. And that says a lot, being that you've been all over doing these flawless workshop, which leads to the next question. You're definitely someone, and we just joked about this, right? That can't sit down. And I mean that both literally, like with your recent injury, you have a cane, but I'm sure it's nowhere near you right now. I'm sure you're still not using it, right? I'm sure of it.
You
But
know me so well.
also metaphorically, you're in New York, you're in Colorado, you're in Virginia, you're all over the place, right? So, as someone that has such a busy schedule, you still find ways to connect. How do you do it?
Mhm. So a few things. There's the thing I told you about with the sunlight. And then so grounding, there's a lot about grounding. Laying on the grass is really good for us. Walking barefoot outside is really good for us. I
Hmm.
really do prioritize being in nature every single day in some form. I really do. And just the other day when I came home from New York, and it was very cold in New York and very gray, and I was in Florida, and we have the flowers are in bloom here, and I just gently, slowly walked in the grass and was like, weeding a little bit of the flowers, like gently. I was being careful, but just really, I immediately was drawn to it because when you practice it, your body craves it. It's good for you. So it's about prioritizing it, right?
Okay, that's good to know. You got to put at the top of the priority list every day. I like that. And as you know, we have this awesome, beautiful concept of a flawless world. So, with Earth Day approaching, what does it look like in terms of how we treat both the planet and each other? What does that flawless world look like?
Mhm. Well, I'm going to go back to what we talked about. Can you imagine if we had these Ramitas? We do have something in Palm Beach, County. We should go visit. It's called the Resource Depot. We should definitely go make a field trip,
Love
maybe
to.
next week, where they have recycled things and companies donate. And I think they sell the stuff, but it's, inexpensive. But and schools go there and their field trips. But can you imagine if we had these free, in every town had these free, amazing, warehouses where the kids and anybody can go and take stuff for free and make things. And another part of what we did in our workshops was people would make things for other people too. They make gifts, you can make journals, you can make books, you can make cards. We do a lot of thank you cards and things. So it's again generosity, there's giving you purpose. There's so many things you can do with these items that, help save the earth, save the ocean, and help us in so many ways. So Falls World to me and this discussion would be a place where we had these recycled materials everywhere, in every school, every mental health organization, every kids organization, after school programs, camps, where it's just part of our culture. That'd be really a flawless world.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you leading the way, both in your vision and in your
Um,
actions and leading by example. I hope you feel a lot better physically with your calf.
Thanks.
And yeah, to all those watching, have a flawless Earth Day. And thank you
Yes,
for giving us that advice.
absolutely. Stay tuned. We'll be putting some stuff up on social media, and definitely this video will have some examples so we can help to inspire you.
I'm excited. Can't wait.
Have a great weekend.
You as well. Thank you.